talking to friends.
Let's go down memory lane for a
I
minute.
have to take American
Back
Employer.
to the
I knew
farmer's
I
daughter.
didn't have one, am I ever? And yeah,
When I was
had
a little
radio.
younger than you see me now. Inger Stevens was my leading lady, or let's say I was
Why?
her
Because of
leading
what
man.
happens with, they should try and arrange
And she
for
was playing the
people
part
to
of a
be
governess,
closer to them or something.
attending to the children of a congressman living in Washington, D.C. It was all very on the up and up because my mother was living there with us. So we had chaperones and children, and there was no hanky-panky allowed. But Inger and I, because we liked a certain amount of humor, would try to sneak little goodies into the show, which indicated that we were more than just employee and employer. On the other hand, Screen Gems and Columbia Pictures didn't want any of that, so they had people guarding us pretty carefully to make sure we didn't mess up and look too attracted to each other. On the other hand, that's why the show sold, is because, my, the electricity, this gorgeous girl, this young congressman, why don't they, will they ever? By the way, 3 years later, when they finally did get together and got married, the show went right off the air. Ergo, people must like that excitement better than they do marriage and happy stories. Anyway, that isn't why I wanted you to listen. During the first week, the first show, we always had a scene that turned out later where Katie was her name. Katie helps me out with my raincoat or gives me my hat and my briefcases. Yaha, Mr. Morley, off to work. Have a good time. I'll be here with the kids and Mama. And off I'd go, and they'd have a scene back at the house. But there was the moment when I went off to work every morning, almost a standard thing. And in that first week, we did it with the briefcase and the hat and the gloves and the raincoat. And somehow or other, both her breasts rested on my arm just before I finished putting on the coat. And I did finish putting on the coat, and we didn't laugh or giggle or anything, and they didn't cut. They didn't see it. We saw it. We noticed it. We didn't look down. We looked at each other, blom, blom, and we went on with the scene. So they said, all right, next setup. That means it's in the film. And they didn't come and bawl us out later, because when they watched it in the stills, they didn't get it. It was very subtle. And it didn't last long. It was just a boom, boom, and off we'd go. We thought it was kind of fun. We got away with that. I haven't seen enough of those lately to double check, but when you look at it next time, maybe you'll notice a little hanky-panky between Inger Stevens and me on that show. It was all very innocent. And our private life was quite pristine. She had her friends and I had mine. But that was a moment we couldn't resist. It was just too juicy not to keep going. End of story.